Hey, what is going on everybody? Blades for here, and today I forgot another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be doing the gym count video, or at least the patch gym count for the whole Cherish patch here. And yes, I understand this should have been done a little bit earlier, but a lot of us were busy, including the jocks here, especially when it came down to doing the whole gym count videos. But my man hit me up. He ended up doing all the calculations and he got everything ready in time. So we're going to be, of course, doing this video as always. And be sure to thank him. You guys check out his Twitter. Be sure to follow it. Hit him up in the worldwide server, literally at Najogs. He is amazing. He does a lot of the build guide type little infographics. He does a ton of like infographics for these gym counts and stuff like that. And he deserves a lot of freaking just claps around that. So be sure to tell him thank you. I'll leave his link down below in the comment section and as well in the description. Be sure to check him out. But all in all, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So if I press this nice little button right here, we should be able to see the screen, or at least the image that shows everything that came out in 2.3.2 as for the gym count. Now, as always, KR and CN can very well differ from each other, as well as TW, because they have different codes, they have different things that they usually be doing. So these are kind of pretty much rough estimates, if not exact estimates, with some differences in between. But all in all, we have the new and returning events, we have the recurring content, and the pay to win content that all in all is going to have a decent total for both sides. Now, as many of us know, we had a lot of time to get all this stuff, so I really do hope you guys logged in and did this, or even just did the events in general. First thing we're going to be taking a peek at is the 10 character pools from daily login, which is the 1,500 hammers. Now, as always, these are not hard to find. Usually they would be in the actual celebration section here, or either they would end up being right here, or you can actually get the 10 pools just from logging in every day. Normally it's like a list of just these things here, but I think the event recently ended like yesterday or so, and it's just a line of different things you can go ahead and at least get every day. And that is something that a lot of you guys did not want to miss out on, because that is actually a nice multi, totaling up to 1,500 amber. The other thing is the 500 ambers from Tycoon Season 1 event missions. If you guys have not done Tycoon, be sure to go ahead and do so. This is actually a very fun game mode. Yes, it does get kind of annoying, but as you can see on the least bottom here, we got 100 right there. We have another 100 here. We can keep on moving, another 100 right here, and then 2 more hundreds coming up right there, just for getting into 2,000, which I'll be honest with you, does not take long to do. You can actually get that up fairly easy. And if you want any of the rewards from Tycoon, be sure to get them, because they're actually really worth it. Not only do you get these things and points just for reaching these ranks here, but for reaching it for the first time, you get yourself some nice ranks as well, or at least nice goodies as well, which are going to be for the whole season. You definitely want to check that out and get that done, because once it disappears, it's gone forever, and that's some things you're going to be missing out of for gym count wise. But the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is the 1 character pool from the Tycoon shop. This is an extra 150 ambers here that you guys can be missing out on, and that's not really something we really want to do. Every last amber is actually valuable to us. So if you guys have not done the Tycoon, once again, be sure to do so, because this is going to be found in the actual Tycoon shop. There's a bunch of things in here, whether it's just actual materials, whether it's actual like these guys, which I didn't even get to get those all the way, but I'll try to get those later on. But we had a lot of things here. We had a ton of things here. I believe that in order to get what was it called, this here, you did need to get your confidant up as well, which is why we keep saying, hey, you might want to go ahead and invest into this. But I don't think this goes away permanently. If I'm right, this actually does still stay here. So if you have not grinded it up, be sure to grind it up, just to make sure you're able to have that at the back of your pocket and ready to actually get those out. But you're gonna have to get up Cherish. All in all, we do have the 4 little weapon pools that are also in there, or at least that we were able to get. 2 of them I think are locked behind the 17 type of confidant. The other 2 are locked behind just regularly plain. So in total, that's 400 ambers, which is always looking good. And then, as all of us maybe should have actually invested into, the Cherish social link. All in all, he gives out 1,150 here, which is really helpful, to be honest. Lots of freaking actual gems from that. Always good, especially if we are trying to summon for our later on banners. I currently don't have mine fully done. He's at 11 right now, but once you do have them fully done, you're able to get not only just a lot of good stuff, but always the 1,150 gems. So be sure to work on that if you guys have not worked on that very soon. Then we have the recurring content. Recurring content, this is pretty much like the gift codes and stuff like that. There was a gift code that went out that gave 300 ambers, which is always nice. Then of course we have the daily mission. Daily missions are very much so important because you get at least around 1,120 from them. And then just from doing your daily commissions, you get 10 ambers every day, which can add up to 140. If you guys don't know exactly what I mean by the actual commissions here, go ahead and take a look into the task bar, in which I think this is a perfect time for me to actually showcase this here. We do have one of these. You can get this in 15 minutes. You go ahead and put your characters on in, boom, you get your 10 gems. So if you do that for the 14 days straight, you should be able to have a total of 140 gems that you're getting out of here, which is actually a decent bit. To some of us, it may not sound like much, but hey, that's still almost a whole freaking pool, and that is always going to be helpful, especially if we are saving for the long run. So surely do keep that in mind. Next thing that you guys want to go ahead and take a look at here is going to be the free character trial. Free character trial, I'm gonna be honest, I'm even guilty of not doing that just yet, but this is actually 60 gems, and this comes from either playing as Cherish or either playing as Fox for the most part, which are these two little events. I did the Cherish side, but I never did the Fox side just because I already got Fox. I know what he does, but I do need to do it because of course gems are gems at the end of the day, and I really do want to get those. But we have that happening. We have the 500 embers from Sea of Soul. If you guys have not done Sea of Soul, be sure to knock that out, of course. Then the 100 up to 250 ambers from Sea of Souls ranking. So if you have not done ranking inside of Sea of Souls, you might want to do that because that does help you out a lot. Then the 640 ambers from Doors of Nightmare. If you guys don't know what Doors of Nightmare by now is, I don't know where you live in. You're living underneath a little bit of a rock here, but you would end up checking your guild. This is easily 640 that you can get. Click this. This is Doors of Nightmare. I was being very lazy this week and I just put it on auto and let them do whatever, and they just gave me my gems. So you really don't have to do much to actually get that 640. So surely be sure to do that. Now, that is the recurring content. So for people who are free to play and all of that stuff, let's take a look at the bottom right. The total amount that you can get this whole patch update is 6,560 up to 6,710, which if you exclude the tickets and the coins, 4,510 up to 4,660, which is actually pretty darn decent. Now for my pay to winners out there, you have the coffee drink pass or weekly pass, the cash weekly pass, and the monthly. Just from the coffee drink pass, you get yourself 180 crystals. From the weekly cash pass, you get 120 crystals and 700 ambers, which in total is 820, just say ambers in general. And then of course, 1,400 ambers from logging in monthly. If any of you guys have the monthly, you know how much you really get every day, of course, just from that. And by logging in every day, that is a whopping 1,400 just for the monthly, which is always helpful. With this in mind, of course, as the total for the pay to wins, that is 8,960 up to 9,110, and then excluding tickets and coins, 6,910 up to 7,060, which is not bad. Now let's take this with a grain of salt. Everything of course was a little bit of a bland patch. We didn't have much here, especially when it did come down to the events. We did get the newer event, which gave us some decent goodies and some gems, but as always, it wasn't anything too crazy this patch. So the overall gem count isn't really that bad, but once we do get a story update, we're gonna get a huge gem flux, so surely do keep that in mind. All in all, thanks Najox once again for the infographic, and thank you for the calculations. Once again, be sure to hit that man on the follow button here on Twitter, and we're gonna go ahead and end it out there. Take care, you guys.